Is this thing on? Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? Hey, Woodley, what's up, brother? Where is the light fam? Calling all light fam. Attention, attention. You guys out there? I'm using streaming software that I think has a little bit of delay from YouTube, so it might take a little bit for your all's chats to show up. It says I'm live though. Let me know if there's anybody in Lightway's land. Aha! Okay, we got Brooke. Hi from Seattle. I'll be listening while I'm working today. Much love. Awesome, Brooke. I appreciate the support. So how is everyone doing this week? It's been a crazy week of a lot of energetic shifts. The energy has been palpable, to say the least. Got some blood moon lunar eclipse, throwing some Mercury retrograde, and we've just got a party going on in the energetic in the energetic milkshake. Hey, Katrina, great seeing you. Uh, Got Carmen Martin in the house. I listen and work as well. Awesome. All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and get things jumping off. Cray cray, yeah, the energy has been cray cray. I'm feeling back to normal though, feeling balanced, ready to deliver my message of light to the light fam. Oh, Carmen is amped up. Hey, Crystal, what's happening? Great seeing you, my friend. All right, well, let's see. What are we talking about today? Your vibe will attract your tribe. Katrina says energetic roller coaster. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But we didn't die. Right? We didn't die, though. And this is what we have to remember. You know, we're invincible. We didn't die. We made it through. Hey, Andy Bourne. Hey from Atlanta. Hey from California. Great meeting you, my friend. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. All right, guys. So we're talking about your vibe will attract your tribe. A little bit of a cure for spiritual awakening, loneliness. This is a topic that just really seems to be prevalent. I've made a couple of videos on it, and I still get a lot of people reaching out to me, feeling like, you know, the oddball spiritual person that nobody can relate to, and they're feeling very lonely, and they're really wanting to find their vibe tribe. So let's dig into how to do that. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. We didn't die. And hope you guys are enjoying some coffee. I got my Harry Potter Hogwarts cauldron of magical brew with the the what's the stir that the witches use, you know? Anyway, hi from India. Namaste. All right, so let's hop into this thing, because the people watching it on the review or on the replay, they're like, this guy's not getting to the point, and then they click off. So I see when I don't jump right into the subject, the viewership goes like that on the replays. So let's hop right on in. So your vibe will attract your tribe. What is my first step for how to attract your vibe tribe? And this is going to sound a bit counterintuitive, but stop looking. Looking keeps you standing in the vibration of the absence of what you are looking for. So it keeps you focused on the future from kind of a perceived state of incompleteness, instead of being in a centered state of completeness. So it kind of distracts you from realizing your own completeness, or masks the fact that you are already complete. So, you know, you can't attract completeness from a state of incompleteness. And this is why people with like unhealed trauma, for example, they typically attract other people with unhealed trauma. So they'll attract in the manipulators and the abusers. And, if we kind of put the shoe on the other foot, the healed person, the person with healed trauma has a hard time sharing the same space with unhealed trauma, because those are two energetic polar opposites, love and fear. Love and fear are trying to share the same space. So completeness and incompleteness are trying to share the same space, and there's not much vibrational congruence there. So that relationship is typically going to be a short-term thing. And this is a problem that a lot of people face when they feel like they've lost that, that one love that they had up on a pedestal that nobody else can compare to. They've got this sense of incompleteness, and they'll never be whole until that specific person comes back. Well, the problem with that is your frequency of incompleteness is repelling the vibrational reality where you're living complete, where you're living in a state of completeness. So you've got to center into your own state of wholeness and completeness, and do the inner work and the healing, so that you can get the right state of completeness. Sorry, someone is sending emails to me here. But a way that we can say this a little bit differently so that it hits a different way, so to speak, is you've got to be focused on the healed version of you instead of some other person. Really sit and imagine what the healed version of you would look like. Would the healed version of you have, a big bright smile on their face and a bright light in their eyes? How would the healed version of you act? Would that healed version be living life to the fullest, full of endless possibilities, taking life by the horns? Well, guess what? That's the real you. That's the authentic you. And this is the frequency that your vibe tribe, your soul tribe shares with you. Your soul tribe, your vibe tribe is more in alignment with the real, authentic you, the healed version of you, because that version of you is the authentic you, and is more out of alignment with the unhealed version of you. The unhealed version of you is the false self. The false self is the identity that the ego created because it believed that that identity was necessary for survival. But if your authentic self is not on display for the world to see, your vibe tribe is going to have a hard time finding you because they're not tuned to that frequency, right? So if you are emitting an inauthentic frequency, they can't match with you because they're tuned to a different station, right? They're not picking up your broadcast. So so when you decide to go within and heal the trauma, you naturally stop looking because your focus is no longer external. And then when you are doing the work within, you get a higher sense of completeness and wholeness, and now you're able to match with completeness and wholeness. You guys feeling that? Hey, Annika, good to see you, my friend. So excited. Thank you, David, for all that you do. Thank you for the time and effort you put into helping people that are awakening and becoming a better version of themselves. I'm so grateful. I appreciate you. That makes me feel awesome. Thank you so much for that beautiful compliment, Annika. Sage Queen Guidance. Hey, Sage Queen, how are you doing? There's Latasha. Mona, haven't seen you before. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for coming by. Here's Christine. Hi, David and the Light Fam. I made it. Glad you're here. Miss M, thank you for showing up. All right, let's see here. So that was my first step on how to find the vibe tribe. Stop looking, look within, and they will naturally come. And then what's the other little bullet point here? I always resonate with you. That's why I show up. Thank you, Carmen. I appreciate you. Let's see here. All right, so this is a big one. So your vibe will attract your tribe. How do we attract our tribe? Stop identifying as lonely. This is a big one. So you guys have heard me say in the past, it's your subconscious identity that connects to the quantum field and attracts the like vibration that you end up experiencing. Now, this subconscious identity gets further hardwired through all of the self-talk. So if you're constantly saying, oh, I'm lonely, or I'm destined to be the lone, the universe wants me alone, or I'm going to be that old cat lady, right? I see those memes all over the place. Well, that hardwires in that subconscious identity, and the universe reflects that back to you. So essentially, you end up seeing the physical demonstrations that your subconscious belief is correct. And then that hardwires it in even more because you're getting positive reinforcement. So let's get out of this identifying as lonely. And if you're experiencing spiritual awakening loneliness, you may not be lonely. It's just that maybe the universe wants you to be alone for a minute so that you can hone your vibe. Wouldn't it make sense that you would need to get in touch with the real authentic you, discover the real authentic you? You know, there may be a version of yourself that you have no idea about because you've been living through the false self, believing that you need protection from the outside world, believing that you need approval and validation. Maybe the real you is boisterous, but the ego said, no, wait a minute, being silent and meek, you know, that's safer, that's better for survival. You know, maybe the real you is a natural born leader instead of a yes man or a yes woman. But the ego said, "Oh no, wait a minute, don't rock the boat. We might not get accepted by the group." Ooh. Right? And the more that you believe in the false self, the more you're in alignment with fear, and the less that true, authentic self is able to come through. And as we just said, it's your authentic vibration that your soul tribe, your vibe tribe, is going to be able to find you. They can't find you if you're wearing that false self mask to the world, because you believe that you need protection from the world. So instead of identifying as lonely, look at it as a spiritual tune-up, right? We're going into a little bit of spiritual solitude to hone our frequency, discover our true self. And you want to lean into that self-discovery and get excited about meeting the real you. Look forward to meeting the real you. Get curious about what the real you is all about. Obviously, this is an inward focus, right? So you're not repelling by, grabbing for the external to seek validation. You're going within. You're excited about that new self. And because the thing is that if you don't heal the trauma, anything that you attract in will be attracted in from a disempowered state. And usually anything that is attracted in a relationship that was started on a disempowered framework is going to be short term, so that you learn the lesson of not standing in your power. Does that make sense to you guys? Hey, Monica, good seeing you. Good vibes only. I love it. Yo, hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. Examazoom. Hey, Examazoom. How are you, my friend? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tips for shielding your energy better at crowded places at the gym, for example. Does this have to do with finding your vibe tribe? I'm not quite sure about that. But I will take a slight detour. Here's a thing that you can use. I say this in my empath videos. You can imagine a huge candle on your head, right? So you're walking into the gym, for example, And anytime someone's energy is coming at you, this candle is burning up that energy and then transmuting it to love. You're sending it back to them as love. And then before you go into some crowded place, make sure that your energy is the dominant frequency. You can do this by bringing in white light. Just have a waterfall of golden white light come into your crown chakra, blow up all of your chakras, and you're just beaming light. You're the lighthouse in the storm, and then anywhere you go, your frequency will be the dominant frequency, because most people are not doing that. So everything is energy. Here it's 1841. I always got to do the calculations in my mind with the with the 24-hour time. You got this, Dave. Come on. 8:41. Is that 8:41? I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, Gabriella, great seeing you. Donna Baxter, welcome, Donna Baxter. Sending love and light your way. Woodley Brown says, I imagine mirrors reflecting their energy back to them, but I prefer what David just said because hashtag love. Hashtag love, absolutely. Susan, I'm late, but I'm here. Awesome. Great seeing you, Susan. Thank you. Kaylee Yoder, great seeing you, Kaylee. How are you, my friend? I don't know if you've met someone from your vibe tribe, and how many people are you? And how many people are you in your vibe tribe? Am I reading that right? And how many people are you in your vibe tribe? I'm not exactly sure what that second part is, but you're going to know if someone is in your vibe tribe if they're resonating with the authentic you. If you believe that you have to wear some type of a mask or a facade to not irritate their energy, or you have to dim your light so that there's harmony with that relationship, then they're not your vibe tribe. You should never have to dim your light for harmony. So in other words, if you can be yourself around somebody and in a safe place of non-judgment, then that's your vibe tribe. Oh, I got it wrong. 6:41. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So let's I'm gonna work on that. Let's jump to the next point here. Yeah, let me touch on this. I know you guys get tired of hearing me harp on healing unhealed trauma, but I'm gonna say it in a different way so that you understand why it's so important. Trauma is in alignment with fear in one way or the other. Whatever. Fear of abandonment, fear of not being good enough, fear of not being worthy of love, fear of not being approved, fear of not being validated, not having, fear of not trusting yourself, fear of letting yourself down. Whatever that fear is, that unhealed trauma is in alignment with fear. Now, where this gets very important in relation to attracting your vibe tribe, fear is the barrier to expression. So as long as you're worried about being validated or approved or whatever that fear is, you're not going to express your authentic self. And as we said earlier, that authentic self is the self that your vibe tribe is going to resonate with. So the more that you heal your unhealed trauma and get out of alignment with fear, the more that the shackles of that fear that is repressing your authentic self in your shadow begins to release those shackles, release that hold on your authentic self, your real self. That real self comes to the surface to present itself to the world fearlessly, without fear of being accepted or approved or validated, because you're no longer in vibrational resonance with needing validation or approval. And this is when your vibe tribe shows up. You don't want to, it's kind of like what I was saying before, you don't really want to attract your vibe tribe before you've healed that trauma, because they're going to be more in alignment with the old relationships. They're not really your vibe tribe. What you're going to attract are the same types of old relationships that weren't working in the past, that was trauma bonding to your unhealed trauma. And then there's, all kinds of chaos, and it's short term until you heal that trauma. So this is why you want to take a little bit of a different perspective about spiritual awakening loneliness, and kind of get away from the loneliness and just say more like spiritual solitude, or being alone for a spiritual tune-up for a minute, so that you can get more in alignment with love, the dominant frequency of source. The more you're in alignment with love, the more your source awareness, aware that you're a source, is higher. And this is the frequency of your soul tribe. This is the frequency of your vibe tribe. But it's hard for you to understand source awareness. What is source awareness? Aware that you are absolute complete, absolute whole, absolutely perfect, absolute abundance, absolute health, absolute eternal, absolute everything. This gets you off of the competitive plane of fight or flight and onto the abundant plane, where there's more than enough for everybody, and you don't believe that you need to take from someone else to get, or hurt over here to get your needs met, or be manipulative or abusive in any way, because you already identify as being everything. There's nothing that can be taken away from you. There's nothing that you can gain that can make you more or less of source. Source just is. So this is a little bit of a paradigm shift. But it's hard to step into that mindset from unhealed trauma, because the fear from unhealed trauma masks that reality for you. So this is why healing trauma is of the utmost importance. Does that resonate with you guys? Latasha says facts. Thank you, Latasha. Latasha's got my back. I love you, Latasha. Woodley Brown, can someone who isn't awake be in your vibe tribe if you're waking up? And someone who isn't awake. So it's the label of vibe tribe that we're putting on that person may or may not be accurate, because the more that you awake, if they choose to stay asleep or unawake, or I'm not crazy about the labels, but if they just stay in a state of low consciousness, like let's say that they stay at 3D and you move to 5D, which just means, all these cute titles, but it just means you're moving into unity consciousness, and they're still believing in duality and scarcity and, fear-based mind, control structures and all that kind of stuff. That person may be there for a season and maybe not for the long term, because again, it's really tough for fear and love to share the same space, which is why everybody has such problems. Because if you think about it, fear, ego, love, heart, what is everybody's big decision? Whatever it is in your life, I don't care what the decision is. What does it always come down to? The heart and the head, the fear and love. This is what I mean. If we really break everything down to the purest sense of any decision that you're trying to make, it's usually a battle between the head and the heart, the battle between fear and love, right? So, and the reason that is because those two frequencies hold the highest level of vibrational dissonance. That's just, everything is energy. Everything is vibration. So that high level of vibration, high level of vibrational dissonance is going to be really tough to share the same space with. So is it that they're part of your vibe tribe, or are they there for a season to just show you where you may be in alignment with fear? Because, a lot of times people are a reflection of you. So you can look at that person and say, wow, this person believes this and that and this and that. And I'm really getting a really good sense of what not to believe. I'm getting a real clear picture of how this person is living in fear. They're just chained in their own mental prison of fear that they've created themselves because they believe these, fear-based paradigms. And I really see the value of living a free, fearless life. And so I'm going to keep doing my spiritual practice so I can not be like that person. So that person may not be a vibe tribe. That person may be a lesson for a season to make you a better version of what you're trying to get to. Hope that made sense. I don't know if the Mercury retrograde is affecting the communication that I'm trying to get out, but I'm feeling a little bit of a block to try to get things out the right way. Feels good to meet all of you in here. Yes, the Light Fam is a warm and welcoming place for like-minded individuals. Oh, hey, Skylar, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. Haven't seen you before. Welcome to the Light Fam. Hey, Noah. Does the law of attraction have an impact on your vibe tribe? Law of attraction has an impact on everything because everything is attraction and frequency. So a lot of the stuff that I'm saying in this live as far as what your vibe is, that's what's going to attract your tribe. Null, David, it's 5 minutes before 7 in the evening. Oh, perfect. Now you're speaking my language. Thank you. Awesome. Let's see here. What's another bullet point? Okay, so your vibe attracts your tribe. How to attract your soul tribe. What step are we on? I think we're on step 3. Step 3. Get a little bit more of this coffee. Okay. Expect to meet them. Now, when I said earlier, stop looking for them. When I say expect to meet them, expect is not the same as looking for something from a state of incompleteness. Expect means standing in a mindful, present state of completeness and wholeness, knowing that like-minded individuals will effortlessly share the same space with you in perfect timing. And then you just surrender control to the universe to orchestrate when that will be. The hows are the domain of the universe. And notice that phrase, surrender control. Control is resistance. Control is the game of the ego. The ego doesn't feel safe when the ego is not in control. And I can promise you, if you're one of these people that automatically goes into fight or flight when you don't feel in control, life is going to be very tough for you, my friend. I promise you that. So why not adopt in a mindset like the universe is always conspiring in my favor? Everything always works out for my highest good. Make this your vibe, right? So your vibe will attract your tribe. Well, what is your vibe? Well, it's your story. And what is your story? It's your BS. Belief system. You guys love it when I say that, huh? So if your belief is that you're meeting your vibe tribe in the most synchronistic and serendipitous ways, then that's what the universe will mirror back to you. The universe is always mirroring back to you your BS. Mirroring back to you your story. And I say that jokingly, but the universe is always mirroring back to you your BS. This is why you always have to own your BS if you want to get a different reflection. So I'm very big on being very honest with yourself and pointing the finger here, because that's what's going to change the reflection. All right, now the next thing that you want to do as you're expecting to meet them, you want to give thanks that everything is working out perfectly. You want to give thanks that you've already met them. And this is a little manifestation trick. When you put it in past tense and put some gratitude on it, gratitude is the magical elixir in alignment with the dominant frequency of source, which is love. The brain already stamps it as done. There's no in between. There's no worrying about the hows. The hows are the domain of the universe. Am I worthy of it? Did I earn it? Did I pass some cosmic test? None of that nonsense comes into play. You give thanks that you've already met them. And then, why would you want to give thanks and expect them? Because if everything is already working out for your highest good, then you can just surrender control, knowing that everything is working out for your highest good. Control is resistance. Control is the game of the ego. So you want to, get out of the ego's game of control. And if everything is working out for your highest good, then you can just expect to, it doesn't have to make sense to the ego. The ego has a hard time with, concepts of existentialism and, infinite life, because the ego is finite. You only have an ego in the physical because you only need to survive in the physical. You don't need to survive in the non-physical. Eternal consciousness can't die. You don't need to survive in the non-physical. You only need to survive in the physical. So the ego has a hard time conceptualizing eternity. So just because the ego can't perceive something doesn't mean that that something doesn't exist. So this is where you surrender control, leave the house in the domain of the universe, and give thanks that you've already met that vibe tribe. And then they're able to effortlessly share the same space with you because you're not trying to control it, which puts you in a state of resistance, which is a closed off state. It's a repelling energy. But when you give thanks puts you in an allowing state. It puts you in alignment with the love frequency, less in alignment with the fear frequency. It's a receptive energy. You're more in the flow of things. What are you receiving? Well, you're receiving your vibe tribe because you're more authentic now because you're less in alignment with fear. Is that resonating with you guys? Let's see, where in the world did I leave off? Anaconda. What's that Mix-a-Lot song? My Anaconda. Oh, never mind. Anyway, let's see. I feel stuck in my life for some time. Is the universe waiting for me to change? Yep, exactly. The ball is always in your court. The ball is always in your court. And think about that word that you put in front of the word stuck, feel. Feel is energy in motion. It's emotions. So the way that you change that unstuck is you feel the opposite emotions of stuck, which would be freedom. Start to identify as free, expanding, liberating, moving into endless possibilities. Grateful that you're moving into endless possibilities. Grateful that you are expanding. Now the universe says, that's my frequency. I got you. Boom, here's the people, places, and things that match your new identity. Monica Lindbergh says, David, this things you are telling us makes really good sense. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it, Monica. Thank you, my friend. Anton, do you feel too much coffee is bad for ascension? Too much. I think too much of anything is not good for not just ascension, but your life in general, because the universe loves balance. That's the thing. Universe loves balance. I see a lot of things where people swing the pendulum one side, to the extreme to try to fix the side that they just came from. And, they run into the same problem. So the universe loves balance. That pendulum loves to find homeostasis in the middle there. So I think if everything is in balance, you'll be good. Christine says, hit that like button for David, everyone. Thank you, Christine. Christine's my cheerleader. I appreciate you. He's working hard to enlighten us. Absolutely. Pamela Bay. Hey, Pamela. Great seeing you. Oh, Tony Murdoch. There she is. Oh, Woodley has a long question here. That looks like a paragraph. What'd you write, Woodley? So, Vibe Tribe is the crew of folks who resonate with your highest core frequency. Yeah, I like that. Because I've noticed that when I'm high vibe people show up. Easy peasy, just like that. But I take it those people are not my tribe. I believe they are. If you're in your high vibe core frequency, the people that are showing up, those are your vibe tribe. You know, if they're connecting on a deep level with you and you're able to just be yourself. You know, let's be honest, us on this spiritual journey, a lot of times we're not able to speak about what, you know, we speak about in this forum with people that are not spiritually awake. You know, you start talking about star seeds and, you know, evoking Metatron and, you know, this type of stuff. They're like, what are you smoking, or do we need to lock you in a mental asylum, or what's up with you? So, yeah, when you can be your authentic spiritual self and they resonate with that, that's your vibe tribe. Oh, Johnny Truelove, there he is. What's up, Johnny? Good seeing you, my brother. What's up, David? One love. Yes. Miss M. Anaconda, thank you. You're very welcome, my friend. Christine, you are a bastion of great knowledge, David. Thank you. I appreciate you, Christine. Thank you. Monica says, David, maybe you should come to Sweden and teach the people about this in real life. I bet that ticket would sell. You never know. The Lightwaves World Tour might be something in the future. Who knows? Anton, people show up when I drink coffee. Seems heightened by my vibe, but maybe bypasses what I need to process. Elaborate a little bit on that. I'd like to jump in that. Brooke says, this is so good. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate you. What else do I have on my list? You guys are going to like this. Take pride in being the black sheep. Where are all my black sheep in the chat? Black sheeps, stand up, represent. If you feel like the black sheep or the spiritual oddball, that means that you are doing it right. Okay. I like that meme. You can't change the crowd by being a part of the crowd. So if you're feeling like the spiritual oddball, that just means that you've outgrown your old level of consciousness and all the people, places, and things at that consciousness. And this is what life is all about. Life is about evolution and expansion. Energy loves to keep expanding. Energy hates to be trapped and stagnant. And now you're a vibrational match for a higher timeline. So you can take that new level of spiritual evolvement as a sign of spiritual maturity instead of a sign of rejection by your current circle. So, you know, if your current circle doesn't understand you, it doesn't mean that, you know, you're an oddball or something is wrong with you. It just means that you've outgrown their level of conscious awareness. And when that old circle falls away because there's no longer vibrational congruence, then, you know, don't worry, because the universe will always match you with the circle that does meet your new vibration, because there's now space for them. So, you know, this is a universe of vibration. Don't worry about when people that are out of alignment with you fall out of your life, because you're going to get that new vibration that comes in. And this is just evolution, basically. You guys vibing with that? Anaconda. I really like that that username. It's a big snake. David, can you make a video on the 144,000? I see this number everywhere. So I haven't done my research on the 144,000. At first blush, it sounds like an ego thing to me, but I haven't really researched it. But I'm not a big fan of titles because the ego loves to be in some special club, right? The ego is non-physical, so the ego is always trying to prove its existence by having some type of a special title. Oh, we're chosen. Oh, okay. So basically, when you're saying you're chosen, you're also saying that the people that aren't chosen are not source. We're all source. We don't need special titles. I'm 144. Okay, so the people that aren't 144 are not source. Everybody is source. I don't like. Now, again, I haven't studied this. I haven't done my research on it, so there may be something about it that I am not aware of. I don't know anything about it, but I do see it everywhere. And to me, it seems like a cute title that makes the ego feel warm and fuzzy about being in some, special club where they're righteous and they're fighting this war against dark and light. I'm all against fighting. Fighting is the opposite frequency of love. Yin and yang is not fighting. Source is also darkness. Darkness is not evil. Darkness is just a different frequency of source experiencing itself at that frequency. This is duality. A lot of people, I see a lot of people in the spiritual community that came from the fear-based religions. So the fear-based religions are good and evil, God, the devil, and, all of this, hellfire and brimstone BS. And I'm not talking about belief system, even though it is a belief system, but the BS I'm talking about. Then they'll say, you know what, I don't resonate with that. I'll go over here to the spiritual side. And immediately they jump right into the same paradigm. Well, if the new paradigm now is still there's this war of dark and light and we're these chosen ones and we're light warriors and we're all this and that, it's the same paradigm coming from that. You're trying to say you're better than the fear-based religions because you're so woke, but no, you're still in the same war, fighting, fear-based, good versus evil, dark versus light paradigm that the fear-based religions are into. This is not unity. There is no fighting in the higher dimensions. Fighting is the opposite frequency of love. Love is the dominant frequency of source. Unity is the answer. Duality is always the problem. Just because you've switched sides and, saying that you're woke, you're still falling into the same hierarchy, structure, dualistic, fear-based war nonsense. You don't need to be a light warrior because if you're a light warrior, you're fighting against the dark. And the darkness is also you. You're fighting against yourself. You're fighting against source because source is all things, including the darkness. So I don't like these cute titles. I really don't. Like I say, I haven't studied the 144 and I haven't studied the chosen ones and all that stuff. I haven't studied any of that. So, there's another side that I'm probably not considering, but just looking at it from the outside in, it really seems like a huge egoic trap for the spiritual ego. The ego loves righteous titles. People love feeling like they're righteous. Yeah. Usually when people get on that righteous horse, they've got a really big shadow. That means that they're not fighting. They're not centering into what they consider dark. They're not centering into unhealed trauma, because unhealed trauma would be represented by the darkness, the lower, denser frequencies. And anytime you deny an aspect of yourself, you're practicing self-hate. So I don't like this, only on one side of the light, because you're making an enemy of the dark, and the darkness is also you, and this is self-hate. It's internal division. House divided against itself cannot stand. Unity is always the answer. So I don't know. It's not my thing. I'll research it one day maybe just to get a better understanding of it, but it seems like it's all ego to me. Man, these comments are flying all over the place. Where did I leave off? Sometimes I go on tangents, guys, and forget where I am. Okay, so there's Anaconda's question about the 144. Right underneath that is Tony. LOL, my own family asked what I was smoking. Nobody recognizes me, but that's okay. Black Sheeps unite. Oh. Johnny says, hashtag the GOAT. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you, my friend. Lightways live tour. Yes, let's do it. Christine's a black sheep. Awesome. Hey, Mickey Butler. She showed up. How you doing, Mickey? Good seeing you. Late to the party again. Better late than never. So glad I made it for some live David and Light Fam. Awesome. Tony Murdoch. I'm the sheep with a white glow. The black sheep with a white glow. Nice. Johnny says, bah, bah. Hey, there's Chola. Chola, me, the black sheep. Nice. Oh, wow, there's a lot more comments. Lord. Willie Brown, 666 isn't the devil. It is not, actually. Usually when you see 66, it's very much Pentacles energy. So it's very really into the 3D. So it's things of the earth. And then that's, where you're going to get into, money and the matrix and stuff like that. But there's also other things with that type of energy, but it's not the devil, no. Okay, nothing is good or bad. Only thinking makes it so. Duality is so 3D. Yeah, everything is perception. Everything is frequency. Oh, wait a minute. I missed another one from Anna. I've never heard before the 144. I just see 144 everywhere. Yeah, it is everywhere. I just want to know what it could mean. Oh, Luis Gardner. Hey, Luis Gardner, how are you? Luis always writes like 12 paragraphs in the comments. I love sitting there reading Luis's comments. Hey, David and everyone. 3 a.m. in Australia, down under, listening, learning, tired of lessons, grateful for the blessings. Woodley says, my sister was convinced I was having a psychotic episode. Let's see here. Carl Jung carved a Latin inscription above the door of his house. Uh-oh. Can't read Latin. Let's see how I do. Vacatus acate non vacatus des arderipitit. Do you guys like my Latin? That's Lightways Latin, by the way. You'll never hear that anywhere else. That's only Lightways Latin. Oh, and that means called or not called, chosen or not chosen, the guide will be there. Yeah, everybody is source. Chosen, not chosen, cute title, not cute title, 144, not 144, everybody's source. No one needs a cute title. Only the ego needs a title. Hey, Johnny Black Sheep. Rohini. Hey, Rohini, good seeing you, my friend. All right, 6 means nurturing. 6 years, 2022. Only awakened people in the chat box. Absolutely. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I'm all off track. That may have been my last point, though. Let's see. It actually was my last point. What questions do you have on your vibe will attract your tribe? If you guys are having issues with spiritual awakening, loneliness, let me answer those questions. And by the way, if you guys want a helping hand, working one-on-one with me to help you find your vibe tribe, which means I will help you step into your authentic truth, break the fears so that you can freely express your authentic truth and effortlessly attract your vibe tribe, then click the description below and then we'll set up a Zoom call and work one-on-one, get you guys into your authentic truth. Gabriella says, wow, Lightways Latin was music to my ears. Really? It was torture to mine. Oh man. All right. Missy M, I feel like the 144 is Christ consciousness. Does that resonate with anyone here? Yeah, so let's actually define Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is unity consciousness. It doesn't have anything to do with Christianity. It's unity consciousness. So you see yourself in everyone else, and you love everyone else as an aspect of yourself. Which means if you're identifying as 144, you're also loving the people that you don't see as 144. You're also loving the people that you don't see as unchosen. So this is why I don't really care for titles too much, because it can kind of, the ego can kind of cloud your vision of unity consciousness or Christ consciousness. Monica says, here, finally it's okay to be the true black sheep or striped, maybe. A striped black sheep, that sounds cool. Yeah, the Light Fam, there's no judgment here. Everybody just be your authentic self, and everybody supports you. Lightways Latin, our secret club lingo. There you go. I love it. Johnny True Love. Yeah, my ego says I'm Hyoking empath, the most powerful empath. Yeah, that's I think that's what they call the super empath, right? And that just basically means that you're a healed empath. Empaths, if they will heal their trauma, are some of the most powerful individuals on the planet, because they chose those highly sensitive abilities before deciding to incarnate. They chose to be incarnated with those abilities to help them with the reason they decided to incarnate. And when they heal the fear that keeps them from expressing those empathic superpowers, woo, then the authentic healed empath can emerge on the scene and really make a difference. Where in the world did I leave off? What is the best inner work we can do? Shadow work. Shadow work. Put it in the Macarena. Shadow work, Macarena. Shadow work, Macarena. Shadow work, Macarena. That's all I know about the Macarena. Something like this, right? That's all I know. You're a wizard, Harry. Absolutely, absolutely. This is what we have to remind ourselves. And why wouldn't we be? Because we're spirit. Spirit is our actual identity. That's what we actually are. We're not these meat suits, people. That's just an illusion. That's just the avatar that you chose for this blink in eternity to spend in the physical. The real you is magical, because the real you is spirit. Mona says, David, can you give an example about your ego, how to deal with it? Yeah, so the best way to bypass the ego is to sink into your heart. So the mind is the energetic house of the ego, and typically if the ego is causing a bunch of anxiety, it's, fear-mongering at some future scenario or regretting something in the past, but it's never in the present. So typically, if you sink into your heart space, you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and that deep breath allows you to take one step back from the ego, what we like to call the observer mind. And then you can kind of observe the ego's fear-mongering, and then ask if the fear is a legitimate fear. Is the fear real? And then once you kind of get in the habit of not taking the ego's fear-mongering at face value, and then getting into the habit of questioning whether that fear is real or not, you'll stop reacting from a fear-based place, because you're no longer seeing life through the eyes of the ego. It's the heart that is centered in alignment with love, and love is not a resistant state of survival. It's not fight or flight. It's a receptive state. As a matter of fact, when you're in fight or flight, you have a hard time making decisions, because mind blood is redirected from the brain and redirected to the extremities to either get you out of a dangerous situation or allow you to defend yourself in a dangerous situation. So there's less good decision making skills when you're in fight or flight. But when you sink into the heart, you're not in fight or flight anymore. You're in a receptive state, and then you can make good decisions because you're not you've still got enough blood in your brain because you're not in survival mode anymore. So that's how you bypass the ego. Man, these comments are flying all over the place. Where did I leave off? I don't even know where I left off. Let's see here. Okay, so there's the shadow work one. There's the ego one. All right. Luis says, I changed tribes recently due to incongruence. It's way better to go where you're drawn vibe-wise. 1,000%. Everything is energy. No need to swim upstream. No need to stay in a state of resistance. Release what has released you. That's a good one. Don't forget that one. Let's see. Monica, oh my God, I love this about the titles. I'm so against it. I meet a lot of people every day loving titles but aren't nice people. Yeah, isn't that an interesting correlation? Yeah. So the reason that there's a correlation there is because there's unhealed trauma there. Hurt people hurt people. If someone needs a cute title to feel validated and to feel righteous, they have unhealed trauma and they're probably not going to be a very nice person. Katrina Hughes, I highly recommend David's coaching for everyone. Oh, Katrina, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. Mickey Butler says ditto. Oh, you guys are gonna get me misty now. Come on now. Luis says, lose the labels, comparison, hypocrisy, fears, and tears. Follow your joy. Shout it from the rooftops, Luis. Shout it from the rooftops, 1,000%. Gabrielle, it's so fun, the Macarena. Monica Lindberg, I totally agree. Beautiful man, inside and out. Oh, thank you guys. All right, you guys are going to make me blush. I don't want to blush on camera here now. Hey, there's Aphrodite. How are you, my friend? Goddess of love. Hello, everyone. Hello, Lightways. I am so thankful I'm able to finally tune in to a live session. I'm usually at work. We appreciate you being here. Brooke says, was thinking also identifying as specific star seeds can be egoic. We are all from the same place. Yeah, I guess it can be. It's if you use it as a tool to feel like you're more advanced than someone who's not a starseed, in your opinion, then it can be an egoic tool. But it's kind of like, an ancestry test from those things that you see on TV where they test your ancestry. You're just kind of getting a background as to, where you may have spent some previous lives. But as long as you don't use it as a weapon to feel better than someone else, then it shouldn't be an ego thing. Oh, I see some twin flame stuff in there. Uh-oh. There's some landmines in the chat. Let's see. That's the YMCA song. Yeah, that would be the YMCA. A little bit different from the Macarena. Let's see. Johnny says, Wim Hof says, dice wants a die. Oh, die wants a die through the breath. Die wants a die through the breath. I actually don't know what that means. Takes one to know one, or maybe takes me to know me. All right, I think you guys are talking amongst yourselves now. The breath can go deeper than the mind. Oh, I don't believe I've seen Michelle Richardson before, in this live at least. Thank you for coming, my friend, just joining. Feel the good vibes already. Michelle, I am sending light and love your way. Sending light and love to Michelle Richardson. Okay, Rohini, is our future bright after this process? Only you can answer that, my friend. Your future is what you decide it to be, no one else. Interesting, asking the question to the fear-based mind, ego. Sometimes we react too quickly, egotistically. Yeah, so the ego will have you believe that there's some type of fear of losing something, right? And then you react. Coley, what's up, my brother? Coley says, yo, yo, yo. All right, Luis is on the twin flame thing. I am my twin flame and the whole soul. Thank you very much. All right. Lightweight says a dope twin flame vid or two. All right, let's see here. Michelle Richardson, use your intuition and your frequency will attract your tribe. And think about that word, intuition. Where does intuition come from? The heart. And what did I say earlier? Release control. Where does control come from? The ego. Where's the ego? In the head. Get out of your head into your heart. This is where you attract your vibe tribe. Your vibe tribe, your soul tribe, is on the frequency of your heart. This is where you need to be to attract your soul tribe. Coley, I don't know why. Why is all I know. Okay. I like it. Let's see. Johnny says, die once a day. Oh, is that what you meant on the other thing? Okay. Die once a day. You know, that's kind of an interesting concept. I'm assuming that goes in alignment with live like there is no tomorrow or live like it's your last day. So don't take each day for granted and live to the fullest. Nicole Fontana, how are you, Nicole? Just joined, excited to be back and watch this. The feeling of loneliness on this journey is real. Go back and watch the replay. We got some good advice on this. Light and love in return, and to all viewers, says Michelle Richardson. Thank you. Noah Mora, do highly sensitive people suffer more than the average person? Yeah, because they're more sensitive. But again, it's that sensitivity is really going to depend on how well you've healed any unhealed trauma, because fear is going to heighten the emotional charge around that sensitivity. But if you're out of alignment with fear, even though you're sensitive, your suffering will be a lot less, because suffering comes from the ego believing that it's losing something. When you're no longer in your ego and you're in your heart and you have a complete sense of wholeness and completeness, there's no sense of losing anything. So that's where the suffering comes from. It comes from the ego believing it's going to lose something. Brooke says, I have to run in a bit. Fun chatting with everyone. And we did hit the hour mark. So I am going to wrap it up there. Let's see, what else we got? Aphrodite says, I enjoy my life better when I am feeling in my heart space. Again, shout it from the rooftops. Responding from my heart space and not from my ego. That's the secret to life. Live from the heart. That's the secret to a happy life. Live from the heart. Like it's your last day, right? Oh, Estella. I don't think I've seen you before. Estella, how are you, my friend? Sometimes I think I'm going crazy on this journey. Check out my Ascension Symptoms video, Going Crazy. You'll like that one. Raxodania. I know who Raxodonia is. Raxodonia is a very high vibrational light being. So excited to watch live, soul brother. Thank you are here. Thank you that you're here, my soul sister. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Maybe I'll take one more question. Luis says, find your higher heart-mind peace, mind and heart coherence, and know yourself fully, walking your talk in truth, and you're never bored or lonely. Live each day to its fullest with gratitude for what you have now. Gratitude. What does gratitude do? Keeps you in the love vibration, the dominant frequency of source. It's a receptive state. You're not in fight or flight. Tony Murdoch says, gotta go. Love you, David and family. I am proud of all that you do to help others. I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you for shining your light, my friend. Johnny says, thank you, Dave, for all you share. Love your perception. It gets one thinking differently. I appreciate you, Johnny. Thank you, brother. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up there. We're past the hour here. Maybe I'll take one more. This is kind of fun. All right. Annika says, I am using affirmations and subliminals to re-love and reparent myself from the base up. Am I bypassing? No, because you're doing the work. If you're trying to re-love and reparent, you're doing the work. You're not bypassing. So good on you. Keep doing that. Pamela says, have a beautiful day. Woodley says, ever done a video on Akashic Records? I haven't. Great topic. I've actually visited my Akashic Records. You know, I'd like to teach you guys how you can do journeying, trance journeying, because the way that I visit my Akashic record is I journey trance in the astrals. I have a sanctum in the astrals, and in that sanctum is a library, and that library has this huge book, and that's my Akashic record, and I go there and I ask questions, and the questions appear, and I do this through meditation. I'd like to do a video on something like that, but apparently the algorithm only loves twin flame, so unless it's twin flame, nobody watches the video. So I don't know what to do, guys. You guys got to start sharing my spiritual awakening videos, Dark Night of the Soul videos, how to get through ascension symptoms videos. Let the algorithm show the algorithm that you guys like other stuff than just the elementary twin flame stuff. Let's graduate from the twin flame all of a sudden. That's just at the beginning of the spiritual awakening. You woke up, now it's time to graduate. Don't stay stuck at twin flame. Let's graduate into how to be your most empowered and greatest version. Your greatest, most empowered version is not being obsessed on some other person. You've got to grow. So share my videos on spiritual awakening, doing the inner work. Share my videos on ascension symptoms, how to get through the dark night of the soul, how to become an empowered empath. These types of videos, when you share those and you like those and comment, that lets the algorithm know, hey, they like something other than twin flame, and then, you know, the channel grows and I'm able to make other videos that I know that you guys would love, because I know the algorithm will show them. Light, love, and abundance, says Chola. 3:30 a.m. back to asleep for me. Wow. I appreciate you, Luis. You're a soldier going the distance for the light fam. I appreciate that. 3:30 a.m. I'm in the astrals at that time. Aphrodite says, much love and blessings to all. Nicole Fontana says, I'd watch. Awesome. All right. Oh, Michelle Richardson, new to your platform. We'll backtrack, like, sharing them. Awesome. All right, you guys, that is it. Oh, we got some love from Luis Garner. Thank you, Luis. Sending light love to you. Every time someone does a super chat, I'm going to do the Lightways Latin. Octurnimus, Octun, Octis, Nis, Wait, that sounded like German. I appreciate you, Luis. I know it's not easy to be up at 3:30 a.m. watching the Light Fam's live stream. So, all right, you guys. I love all of you guys, and I will see you in the next video. light, love, Macarena, abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.